All right, ladies and gentlemen, thought I'd just do a little hangout tonight, and honestly, I just wanted to go through over the weekend. I just went on TikTok live and just got sent a whole lot of comments, but I did a short form video today around Tauranga Council once again blowing $4.7 million with no repercussions, and I've just come across another one off TikTok live, and I want to start with the Tauranga one first, but just wanted to just say thanks to everyone that's sending me notifications, things to look into, articles. I feel like more of an investigative journalist now, which is a complete change from Rapid QS. Guys, just remember, I come from a building background, building business. Now I've jumped into the content world, and I didn't expect myself to get this far down the landscape of journalism and building up a little bit of a following. So I'm really enjoying this at the moment. I don't know what's to come of it, but for now, anything that doesn't look right or doesn't look like common sense, I'm going to absolutely roast it. So I'm going to take you behind the scenes on how I do this, how I find out information, how I make short form content, and I'm going to start making a little bit more long form content. So quickly for context, I'm 32. I'm currently in Sydney. We have a quantity surveying business, which I started 4.5 years ago. We've got a fantastic team. I have 18 employees. We're currently in Sydney, New Zealand, and the UK. The UK, we just started in January. I was bored in February, so I went up there and I had a crack at it, and now we're absolutely flying. So I'm on a podcast tour over here, but nevertheless, let's get into it. So what I do, okay, I got sent this article today. Munro Road Resilience Project, lessons learned over our commitment and to improvement. So one of New Zealand's fastest growing districts, Waikato district, is constantly balancing the road for rapid growth and delivery of high quality infrastructure. So I don't really look at all this. All I do is I go copy paste, put it straight into ChatGPT, and what I get it to tell me is the following. Bear with me for 1 second. Give me a summary on all this info, okay? So the Munro Resilience Project was meant to raise the road above flood levels and generally make it more resilient for the local community. They hit a showstopper. Critical underground power cables that can't be moved. So I kind of feel them there because, unless they did a subpar survey and they didn't pick this up, that can be very hard to look at, okay? So, but with the council project, with the amount of hoops and red tape to jump through, I'm surprised this did not get picked up, okay? Because of contractual obligations, the council incurred $270K in costs, even though the project had to be stopped. So the key dates here: February, contract awarded, preparations begin. 2024, works halted after underground cables are discovered. So 5 months after cables are discovered, contract formally ended in September. December, community updated the work had stopped. June, July 2025, council approves the extra costs, $270K in a public meeting. So we'll just quickly click this link. Nothing came of it. So we'll have to do a Legima request here. And if you guys don't know about the Legima request, they are a absolute stonewall to stop me digging in and to stop other people digging into the information. They have to give it 20 days, but we all know if you inquired at Rapid QS and did an audit and said, David, I need to see every single job that you've priced. I want to see that job that you did back in January 2023 on the 16th of October. I could go through my Xero, pull it up, copy and paste the address, grab all the information, put it in a G drive, and I could do it within 1 working day. So if you're telling me that a regional council or a council within New Zealand with all this AI technology and infrastructure, they can't get you that stuff within 20 days, scam. September 2025, design consenting property negotiations continue. Project resume once funding from New Zealand Transport and Waikato is secured. So they obviously have gone out to get more funding for this project after blowing the 270. Here's where it gets interesting, okay? And to give you some context, guys, so it's obviously this project here, they incurred the 270K in costs. Just to give you an idea, this is all the information, but really I just go off ChatGPT. So poor early services mapping. They failed to detect critical underground assets in early surveys, inadequate risk identification before awarding the contract. So maybe the contractors that they were using weren't that good. They didn't do decent enough work. I'm sure they didn't take the cheapest price, but maybe one of their preferred contractors wasn't good enough. Contract flexibility and oversight. Weakness when surprise came. Contract needed to stop, redesign, but costs still had to be borne. I don't really understand that. We could put a complete hold on the project, and if it was a fixed price contract, they can surely stall it at one stage of the payments and it would be gone. Transparency in governments. Council kept councillors community informed, cost approved publicly. I will be Legima requesting this because I highly doubt it, but this is all the information we've got. So Unknown underground services are a huge gamble. If surveys don't catch them, you'll eat costs or delay. Contracts have forcing you to carry risks even when stock works. Make sure your terms are tight. So, I mean, when I look at this, I go, okay, cool. We've spent X amount on infrastructure, X amount on consultants, and we found out the project couldn't go ahead. Now, I'm on their side with that. Construction never goes to plan. There's always issues and there's always problems. But if it's a council-related project, who was the one initiating the $200,000 worth of fees? Like, where did this come from? Who gave them the fee of $270,000? Like, if it was a private job and you're working on LDs, liquidated damages, then for sure you might get stung by the top tier contractor, the main contractor, and you've got to pay penalties. But this is a council project, so why do these $270K worth of costs occur? Anyway, so what I looked up next, who was the project manager on this project, who was in charge? So Jack Hassar is a roading capital projects manager at Waikato District Council. He's got a LinkedIn here. So I just went on here and had a little looky. So, you know, you could look and see what he's about. Here we go, Bachelor in Civil Engineering, completed a degree in engineering. I always just look for if they ever had their own business, because I just want to look at guys that have had their own business, work for themselves, and they understand everything. Peter Henderson is a roading development project manager at Waikato District Council. If any of you guys know him, let me know. I don't know much about him, and there's nothing on him on LinkedIn here, so I'm a little bit shy. Atendia Singh is a senior infrastructure manager at Waikato District Council. Once again, LinkedIn. Here we go, overseas guy, 100 million project delivery, governance, asset management. Surely this would have been an easy job if he's done 100 mil. This is only 250K, but anyway. And Debbie Daliff is a project manager at Waikato District Council. So here we go. Jack Hassar is a roading capital projects manager, makes him a strong candidate for the oversight or lead contract for capital roadworks. Anyway, there's been an issue, there's been an oversight, and this council has suffered 270K worth of costs. But let me know what your guys' thoughts are on that. If you have been involved with that project, if you know anyone that's involved in that project, that would be interesting. You know, I just get sick of seeing wasted money. Like, I'm not going to say I'm perfect. When I had my building business, I made stuff ups, but I definitely never incurred massive penalties after things have gone wrong. Like, for example, here's what I would have done in that one. If I was drafting a job, say, for example, we did a project in Mount Wellington. We put a second dwelling on a section. We had geotechs, engineers, designers, everything. If we hit a roadblock at some stage, you can always use the existing drawings. You can carry on with the job. You just have to make amendments. And I feel like that's maybe where no common sense has come into play. I've got minimal information there, but why do we need to stop the job? Couldn't we just keep going with the project, work it in as a variation, and stop incurring these $270,000 worth of costs? So let me know if anyone has info on that, send it through. Next one. Tauranga City Council seems to get this one wrong all the time. Council sank 4.7 mil into the scrapped pool plans. Okay, once again, copy and paste here. Summarize this for me, please. Man, Mahi Drysdale just gets roasted. And I just want to add, like, if you were his PR team, why are you not doing a better job? Like, do they have someone reading the Facebook comments and looking into everything? And, you know, obviously being a mayor, you've got to do the business, you've got to do everything. But even now myself, I would say, cool, I'm the founder of a startup company, heavily promoted on social media. We run the day-to-day business. I look at every single comment. Like, I'm a leader in my industry. I talk a lot. We promote heavy on social media. We call out the good, the bad, and the ugly. But you best believe if I find a bad comment, a bad message, or something said bad about it, I'm digging into it and I'm seeing if I'm right or wrong. Now, I'm not saying it's the mayor's job to look at his presence, but you are a public figure. You are running a community. You're in charge of people's money. You do have to have a PR team. And you do have to sometimes put your ego aside and be like, okay, damn, I stuffed up here. Like, has he ever publicly apologized? I don't know. At the end of the day, he's a puppet being told what to do. Okay, here's a tight summary. Key takeaways from the Sun Live article. Tauranga City Council spent $4.7 million on design, investigations, planning for a proposed $105 million aquatic centre at Memorial Park. But these plans have been abandoned. Why can we not just use the plans that have been there and make some amendments or some changes? The council approved a further $50,000 to create new concept designs under the revised plan. Since the project kicked off in 2021, the $4.7 million has gone into early work, feasibility, designs, investigations, even though the build hasn't started. So that was my short form content today. 4.7 mil and the peg hasn't even gone in the ground. Under the old plan, the Kiwi Loose Centre would have been demolished. Now it will remain in use until at least 2041. Massive costs, millions down the drain, guys, before even breaking down. Like, why was this not a fixed price feasibility at the start? Like, why could we not just maybe hold a public meeting in Tauranga? Hey guys, this is what we're looking at doing. We've had a budget of this much. Put your hands up if you think this is good. Put your hands up if you think you object. Look at the numbers and go from there. But 4.7 mil, like, sorry, man. Let's have a quick look. Google, who initiated this project in Tauranga to go ahead? Like, it's just insane, man. It was Mahi Drysdale. So Council Civil Development Portfolio Manager Mike Nord said the design concept for the new facility will be completed early next year. Okay, cool. So maybe it was him. Who knows? Before we get into it, let's read a couple of Facebook comments because that's always funny and that always makes me feel better. Disgraceful, and I'm here asking for a security camera and or lighting crime-ridden walkway. I've been told there's not enough money. Geez, I'm pissed off. Every family in New Zealand is cutting back on household spending like it's the council has diarrhea of a wallet. I agree, man. Times are tough in New Zealand. I'm paying $6 for a cabbage. It's insane. 4.7 million consultants. So many of the consultants are the ex-council workers. Jobs for mates. Was it up for tender? Was the price banned? Juno needs to write that off article revealing questions. I agree, man. Absolute tosses a lot of them. Hey, Mahi, how about you bugger off to where you came from? Ruthless, but maybe fair. They all need to be fired. Yeah, which Tauranga City Council member has ties to the company that did the drawings? What hourly rate would that come out at? Great idea. It's, yeah, I mean, that's why I just want to jump into everything, eh? So, anyway, $50,000 for new concept designs meant to be made by early next year. Obviously, it's good. Like, I'm all for improving, you know, and building new stuff and infrastructure and adding to the community. But when you're going to waste 4.7 mil, someone needs to dive into that. I'm sorry, you can't do that to people, eh? So everyone's obviously happy about it, but I just don't understand Mahi Drysdale. Like, come on, it's so simple. Like, when you're running a business, you get a fixed price proposal for X amount. They've just spent 4.7 mil. No one's going to put their hand up for this. And then straight away, they've just handed out another $50,000 worth of fees. Changing scope and design shows how big projects get derailed when the initial vision is too ambitious. Community and stakeholder pushback. So retaining the youth center, scaling back design shows political, public pressure and motion. Guys, sorry about that. We had a audio malfunction. Listen, let me know if you enjoyed that. Let me know if there's anything more you want to see. And if there's any projects you're not happy with, any councils you're not happy with, any councillors' concerns, let me know. I'm going all in on building this YouTube channel just around making New Zealand better, doing what I can do while I continue building my business. So thank you very much. Comment below. Much appreciated.